Saber-X Studios presents. Hey guys, welcome to Juice It Up. I've got TCS's Kyle OffBeat Hutton here, ready to talk about some things. You know, we these past couple weeks have been a little bit crazy. A bunch of cancellations. You know, this coronavirus pandemic really spreading across the land, and really just sort of like affecting a lot of not just like Smash, but the whole world and everything that's going on. And I brought you in because I wanted to talk about, you know, cancellations, moving to maybe Wi-Fi weeklies or whatever. And as the head of TeamChargeShot, you know, it's just, you've got a lot going on your plate, a lot going in your mind right now. So can you share a little bit of that?
I mean, when the coronavirus stuff started, we all were kind of just like, you know, it'll pass. We can make it through this. And the moment it became real is definitely when like you know, esports arena or like big established weeklies are starting to like just go under. And admittedly, it was stressful because like TCS is like a secondary income for me, you know. I absolutely hate that we have to do this because like I know for a lot of people, I know you've mentioned in the past that like this is like the escape, you know, like the weeklies. I think that's honestly the most impactful thing that people are losing the opportunity to like meet, get together, and like enjoy ourselves. Like the income stuff it sucks, but you know, I mean, I kind of miss having the IRL weeklies already, and we're only like a week into quarantine.
Yeah, no. Speaking of quarantine, you know, we have so much free time. Well, to be honest, you and me don't have a whole lot more free time than what we used to. You have a retail job, and you're still in school. That moved to online, so that's not done. You know, that's still happening. Me personally, I work in radio stations. You know, that's media technically. I'm actually. We spent the last week out of studio trying to do things from home, which I have the equipment for here, as you can probably tell, to do that. But we're cleared to go back to the studio next week, or at least I am. Already? So I'm gonna have to go back there like super early in the morning, right?
Are y'all running on Skeleton Crew, or is it literally?
It's Skeleton Crew. It's literally they're only allowing the producers in there now.
Oh my God.
And then like all the talent has to like still work from home. So it's a bit complicated, but my work flow hasn't changed, but I've still used this quarantine as an excuse to like watch anime that's been on my list, like One Piece. I've been diving into One Piece, man. I'm on like episode 90. By the time this episode comes out, I'll be on like 150 probably. So like, even though I'm super busy with work and stuff, I'm still like using it as an excuse. What are you doing during the quarantine?
For me, it's been a whole. Well, I will say about half my time with quarantine has been a lot of. It's just like, okay, I'm getting back with all my contacts that I had events for, and finding out it's just like, all right, what's happening? What's the deal? And it's even more unfortunate because like I had a lot of personal life stuff that was going to be happening. Now I'm spending a lot of time like backtracking all that too, like schoolwork and stuff like that I've been working on. I've been more focused than ever, like on my schoolwork more than anything else.
Yeah,
because this is my last semester. You know, it's just like I want to be done. I've spent 8 years in school, and
how disappointing is it that you might not get to walk across like?
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, you still could go to like to the August, like the summer or the winter, you know, walk ceremonies, but you know, not the ceremony where you actually like graduated. Like, how does that feel?
It's disappointing. Like I said, 8 years of work is a lot, you know? And I always told myself it's like at the end of the tunnel, it was like when I walk across the stage, that's when it's going to hit me. That's when like it's actually going to be like, all right, it was worth it. I got the paper. I'm finally ready to actually go do something. So yeah, it's super disappointing. And what was even more disappointing is I was planning on like having this huge like Clarksville Splash style event as a graduation party with a bunch of different people showing up.
Oh, that'd be dope, dude. Hey, if it happens, you know, we'll still do it.
Well, Clarksville Splash, if it calms down, we'll still be returning. I like this is probably the last year I get the chance to run Clarksville Splash before you know, I potentially go into work for like event production. So hell or high water, I'm making Clarksville Splash happen at least once, even if it has to be like at the very end of the summer.
It has to be like super quarantine. Everyone wearing hazmat suits.
Only one person in the pool at a time.
No one's gonna be able to like. Everyone will be in the pool but can't feel the water because they're in like astronaut suits.
Yep.
They're just gonna be floating around. That'd be hilarious. Sign me up.
Absolutely.
No, but something that we want to do during this quarantine. Since all of our events are canceled. The weeklies are gone. I was at the start opposed to canceling weeklies, but the more this got serious, the more established places started closing down. I was like, you know what? It's not just big gatherings that need to stop meeting up. It's the small ones too. And so I decided, to stop Spinelli's, stop ESA, stopped theirs. You guys stopped yours in Middle Tennessee. But we've been trying to talk and create a Wi-Fi weekly, to sort of replace all of that, to replace the monthlies, to replace the, everything. If we can have a Wi-Fi weekly, that, well, like it's not a perfect solution, because it's Wi-Fi and fuck Wi-Fi.
Online Nintendo.
Yeah,
those things don't really work.
No, but yeah. So even though it's not a perfect solution, it can still help alleviate some of that pain that we have, because it is an escape, and we sort of, it's sort of like our routine, like not a necessity, but it would be really awesome if we could make that a part of our lives again.
Well, I mean, it's just like. The quarantine and everything's still happening, yeah, but like the grind doesn't stop.
That's
I mean,
fair.
for most people that like are doing this and are making money, like top players or like even players like at the local level that like go to tournaments and actually start making a little bit of money. I mean, it's still like use it or lose it. Like Smash especially, like although I say like any fighting game is a use it or lose it skill. Like it is absolutely, you have to practice, you have to keep grinding on it. And I mean, just because you have to do it online doesn't make it valuable. I always believe in the philosophy that every single match you play has value, and that includes online.
Well, I came to you guys, because I had this idea for Wi-Fi Weekly. I'm sure you guys were thinking about it too. I know a bunch of people were thinking about it, but I came to you guys to like sort of collaborate with something because you guys have had a Wi-Fi Weekly in the past called The Bounty, and I don't know why you started it. Why did you start it actually?
Me and Puff were thinking about because at the time weeklies in Middle Tennessee were starting to get a whole lot more. I want to say isolated, but they were like essentially boiling down to just TNLS and TNT, and that is a very small subsection of Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is a wide place because we have to call ourselves Middle Tennessee. So like go all the way from Clarksville all the way down here like
To Tullahoma,
exactly. And the original idea behind it was going to be just like, okay, if Middle Tennessee is going to only have like 2 really big weeklies, we should have something for the people that can't make it to those weeklies. But then we wound up getting a large influx of weeklies. ESA came into town. Spinelli's showed up. There's another Bellevue tournament now.
There was at one point we had 8 weeklies a week in Middle Tennessee, which is not good.
Exactly.
It's not good.
And while that is an issue in and of itself that I have opinions on, like the whole point of the Wi-Fi weekly was that way. It's like, okay, if we can encourage people to do the Wi-Fi weekly, we can potentially get more crossplay to happen, and potentially, even though it wouldn't be like relevant for PR, like it at the very least would encourage people to play against people that they weren't as familiar with, or just even to have something to do. Like I think the original one was on a Wednesday night.
Gotcha. I'm really excited for it too, for it to come out. How exactly does it work?
So we have our own Discord server that we operate all of the tournament operation off of. Me and Puff are basically curating the event. Puff's going to be handling a lot of the administrative stuff, so like bracket stuff like that. And myself will be operating the stream and everything. To ensure that we still have the VODs to cut and go out, and also people can still watch online if they so wish. Essentially, everybody that's in that wants to sign up for the bracket about an hour before. Excuse me. About an hour before.
the juice.
Yeah, I haven't had a fruit barrel in Lord knows how long. But anyway, like I was saying, about an hour before bracket starts, we post a sign up link saying it's like if you want to sign up, I believe we're using Challenge. You can sign up with. You'll have to have a Challenge account, obviously, but you can sign up online. Or you can contact one of us to get set up in the bracket. We try to start at 7 o'clock. When brackets finalize, we say it's like, okay, DM your opponent, get into a match. And then we will also have a separate arena happening where we will be recording the matches and live streaming. And I know for the first one, I know by the time this airs, it'll already happen. But me and you will be commentating that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're gonna be spectators in the arena and invite the people in and
exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And then in the Discord, you also have separate chat rooms for each of the matches going on. So for tournament match 1 or whatever, you have let's just for say me and you were playing against each other in the tournament, we would be in that voice chat talking to each other okay, I banned this stage, this stage, this stage. You could do it that way, or you couldn't
If they prefer to have voice chat, that those rooms are there. Mm-hmm. But I always encourage people to just DM people if it's easier, because and it. We only have so many voice chat rooms that we can do, and if this does blow up, within the first few days of the Bounty Discord being open, we've already got a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. So I'm
telling you, man, people need to satiate that.
People need the grind.
That
absolutely.
hunger to keep going forward to grind. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's really awesome that you guys are starting to do all this with the Bounty and starting to make it online. So what exactly can people do sort of to get ready for it?
I mean, aside from the usual competitive aspects, it's just you get used to playing online at least. I would recommend people play a few For Glory matches and get themselves acclimated to being online. And the one thing I definitely want to stress about people competing online is that it's online. You can argue that IRL you don't want people getting mad or raging over it, because it's at the end of the day it's a game that we all want to enjoy. And while I better than anybody should know what it's like to get upset over your losses and stuff, it's not worth it online, because we all know Nintendo's online isn't worth getting upset over. Your ire is better spent elsewhere.
It's also, better, if people do rage, whatever, they're going to rage in their own homes. It's
exactly.
Their neighbors are the ones that are going to be, kicking them out, not
keep
not
a pillow
TOs.
nearby.
Yeah. or a punching bag or something.
Exactly.
Just have it hanging up, just ready to go.
Throw your controller into the pillow.
There's some people that don't get salty, but they sort of take a different route. I'm not expecting this out of anybody in our scene, especially, but there's some people who might try to cheat, get past the rules, saying oh, hey, no, I won that match, and they really didn't. So how do you get past? How do you avoid that?
The tried and true Nairo anti-cheat method. Cheating in this game is a whole lot harder. What I would also recommend
Wait, so hold on. What is the anti-cheating?
Okay, so smash tags, right?
Yeah, kind of. I haven't played Nintendo Online at all.
So smash tags are basically every single player has a smash tag that has their name on it, and how many tags you get is dependent on how many wins over another player.
Okay.
Every time you beat somebody online, you get their smash tag.
Gotcha.
So what you can do is, if you suspect that, if you have two people basically claiming that that they both won, you can basically tell them it's okay, go to your smash tags. I want to see how many you each have. The winner theoretically should only have 2 smash tags.
Yeah, I can understand that, and that's for the most part I think is a really solid strategy. But especially in a local scene like this, if you're doing local Wi-Fi tournaments and people maybe have played against each other online before, or they keep practicing, it's sort of hard to.
The other thing that I tell people is okay. Everybody needs to sell smash tags, the smash tag of your opponent if you've played them in the past.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can sell tags for in-game currency.
Gotcha.
So like the solid thing to do, and I'm assuming that everybody's going to be like upfront about this. I don't have any reason to doubt anybody in Middle Tennessee. And on top of that, it's a Middle Tennessee bracket.
Exactly. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting it, but it's possible for it to show up.
For
so
sure.
we've got ways to avoid that. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Well, really excited for the bounty. We'll talk more about this and Team Charge Shot special announcement coming right up on Juice It Up. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I have Kyle OffBeat Hutton here. We were just talking about, coronavirus season is in bloom, and we're in quarantine and running out of things to do. So what better than to start a Wi-Fi weekly, and in Middle Tennessee's case, it's going to be called The Bounty. But you also wanted to come on and talk, you had a special announcement for Team Charge Shot in general, right?
Yeah. This is definitely more of an unofficial official announcement because it's definitely happening. We've already got it confirmed that we are now partnering with Chattanooga Smash with Shadow Draw.
Yo, let's go.
And like I said, this is more unofficial official announcement because you'll see the actual announcement and everything that'll entail like when it gets closer, like when everything's not canceled.
Yo, speaking of Chattanooga Smash, I'll take that trash from you.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I love you guys.
No.
No, but you're sorry. Please continue. You gave me the opportunity.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
Oh my God.
They're gonna hate me, but it's okay. It's worth it.
I was about to say these are your teammates now, bro. Anyway,
loosely my teammates.
The long and short of it is essentially that with us combined, we're basically working to help each other out to ensure that events both here in Middle Tennessee and in Chattanooga, Middle Tennessee in general, because Chattanooga is also slightly Middle Tennessee. They're
really
very south of Middle Tennessee, but we're basically working together more to help each other out, ensuring that events are going to be running smoothly. For example, TCS now loans off about a quarter of our setups to Chat Smash, so they can start hosting their own. That way, they can start effectively hosting their weeklies more often without having to rely on random people setups. In exchange, we are actually going to be now streaming all their weeklies on TCS. Shadow Draw is going to be operating the stream down there, of course, but now that means more weekly content should be coming to TCS on the regular. And then outside of that, their monthly series, Scenic Smash, we will be fully supporting that from now on. So all of the TCS setups. Oh, Jesus Christ, I really can't handle it.
You can't handle the juice, man. You can't do it.
It's too real.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, we're going to be fully supporting their monthly series, and then including like advertising, TOing, streaming, everything. So that way we can ensure that their events can run smoothly as well. And in exchange, Shadow Draw is essentially now part of the TCS group.
Yo, shouts to Shadow Draw, man.
TCS Shadow Draw is a real life thing now. So
iconic. No, I'm interested because we talked about the bounty last segment. Now we're talking about you branching out into different areas of Tennessee. Is the bounty open to everyone in Tennessee?
It not only Tennessee, it's open to anyone anywhere.
Ooh, you hear that? Everyone anywhere. We'll be posting the link to the Discord in the description down below for sure.
But yeah, like I've got friends in a whole lot of different places. Like the perks of being a tournament organizer and like a supportive member of the community is that like I've pretty much gone like so many different places and I've met so many different people that do support TCS. A lot of those friends come from a lot of different places, like out in South Carolina or North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, all the way out to California.
Well, you were going to go to more places too, but unfortunately, this whole pandemic has canceled a lot of stuff. Like, what all were you going to?
Oh man, so I had a full March schedule, like absolutely
big rip
packed. I was originally going to be going to Lipscomb University for a quote unquote charity event. It was more like just an exposure kind of event.
Gotcha.
We were still getting paid for it, but but it fell through. That week was actually the week that everything just kind of fell apart.
Okay, yeah.
The week after was we were in talks to potentially be working with Final Round, but that fell through like even before coronavirus happened. But even then, Vandy shut down, which is what we were going to be doing. And then after that, Volan happened.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Volan was a big loss as well, because I was talking a lot with their I forget who he is. I believe he's just like the professor advisor for like the group that was organizing Volan, and he was a big supporter of esports. I was talking with him a lot about like how Volan's going to try to be this really big thing. That got canceled. We were going to be in Oklahoma for Super Bit Wars 8. That got canceled. And then Scenic Smash, we were also going to be doing that, and then that got canceled as well.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. But I mean, like, it makes sense, right?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Like, I don't think I don't feel bad that these cancellations happen. I mean, scratch that. I'm upset that we lost out on the opportunity, but like I completely understand why. Like. This should definitely be something that needs to be taken seriously, and event organizers now more than ever have the responsibility to cancel. Like even on the personal level, like I wasn't going to be at Super Bit Wars. I was going to be in California at a convention, a Brony convention that I was running the arcade for.
F2Con, right? Or is that? Oh no, yeah, it's a different one. My bad.
Yeah, it was a different convention out in San Francisco in San Mateo County, and they were going down to the last minute on cancellation, but they inevitably did cave, and we eventually found out why. They were waiting on the hotel to like basically agree to be like, yeah, we know the event can't happen. We won't charge you guys for it. So, but like I guess I want to also segue that into one point. If you got an event organizer and there's a lot of cancellations, especially for events that are on the large scale, you guys saw what happened to Joe Bailey for DreamHack Atlanta.
Yeah,
like definitely be understanding of your event organizer, whether it's like a small scale convention or a large scale tournament. It's like this isn't easy for anybody here. Like I barely make money off of this, and I'm hurting from this.
Well, I mean, it's just. It kind of sucks to see sort of people like that get attacked, right? You know, for sure. And especially after they've done so much for the community and like they've been trying to do so much. And I don't think a lot of people have really grasped the whole, situation, like everything that's going on. I know that my most recent guest, Razor, in Kentucky, got bashed a little for running his event, even Big Blue Showdown 2. And I can understand both sides, I can understand it. But I think at this point, it's kind of like everyone should be on the same page of, oh, hey, we need to start like, not doing anything.
I think it needs to boil down to like people need to realize the financial burden that running these sorts of events can take, like as far if you want to go to a TCS example, like when everything was perfectly fine, like the last large event that I tried to run was Clarksville Clash, and we admittedly there was a lot I wish I could have done better with that event. We could have done it at a better time. Could have like gotten the word out for it more.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, exactly. But even when everything was perfectly fine, like I still had to fork out probably an extra, $400 out of pocket to ensure that like everything got paid for, and that's just for a small scale event. That's just for the venue. That like I wound up getting saved by like the guys that were running it, like Emerald Element, Puff, Sam, who's no longer with us. Unfortunately, he moved away, but. They all agreed not to take payment for the event, even though I always try to ensure that my team gets paid. Like that's the first and foremost thing. Mm-hmm. If they were insistent on getting paid, that probably would have been easily like $600, $700, maybe even $1,000 out of my own pocket.
There's definitely a lot of organizations that are if this keeps up for a while, they're gonna go out of business. Mm-hmm. I've seen posts from Kumite Gaming and the people who run KIT and people who run other events all around the world. You know, there's like, if that's how we get our income, and if we can't run tournaments, like we can't do this anymore. And so it's really kind of sad to see that going. So my question, I know that TCS isn't necessarily like, it's sort of a business. It's half so and half so because you don't rely on it for income. You have another stream. You work a job in retail, so you get as pleasant as that is. But like, you're not necessarily in a spot where you need TCS to succeed financially right now. So how does the bounty fit into all that? How does that help you how does that help TCS at all?
Well, I definitely I remember mentioning this earlier on before we started recording, but it's tricky to talk about like anything that really benefits TCS in the long run because like when TCS started out, I didn't like plan for it to be this big of a business or anything. I just saw a need that needed to be filled, and I took it. And I eventually turned it into something that I could like potentially profit like slightly off of. You know, I only ever take money like on a small scale, or never, or not never. But I barely take.
He's coming for your money.
Exactly. TCS invades Middle Tennessee. More than 7.
The new headlines. Bring it out.
No. I didn't do this to make money. It just so happens that now I have the opportunity to do so a little bit here and there, and like I'm thankful for that opportunity. But to go back to what I was saying originally. Or what the question originally was, how the bounty influences TCS or how it helps. I believe it's more so just it shows that TCS is still like trying to be an active part of the community because especially in this time, it's easy for somebody to sit back and do nothing and try to wait the storm out because we're not making money. I want the bounty to be there for people to actually have something to do and to show that like just because we're not doing this and making anything off of it doesn't mean that we don't want to do it. I want the bounty to at least show people that like TCS is dedicated to being a positive part of the community.
Gotcha. And right now it's free tournament. So
exactly.
people want to sign up can sign up for free. Is there any like plan to change that in the future?
For right now, it depends on how things play out, I am not opposed to the idea of making it a paid bracket. Jesus. I've even had like my family who like are big investors into what we're doing. Say it's like y'all should be charging like a $2 $2 production fee, and if things like stay like this for like almost about the rest of the year. I know that's kind of like doom and gloom thinking, but I'm not opposed to like maybe charging an entry or like even making it a paid tournament. But as of right now, my current plans with it are keep it free for like maybe a few weeks, maybe occasionally do a paid entry version of it, like every so often, maybe like
a monthly,
make it monthly paid entry and to raise the stakes a little bit. If we get to maybe like 4 months out, I might say, hey, doing this does require a time commitment from me and my team that are doing this. So I'm asking you guys to please consider doing a $2 fee, and that's one thing I want to point out. I will bring this up as an option for people. I don't want people to feel obligated or required to have to pay for it.
Gotcha.
But I would request that people be like, hey, this is the PayPal for the organizers. If you guys would mind tossing like $2 for the people that are actually helping organize this, that'd be great. So
what is the future of TCS? I know that's kind of hard, like to wrap our heads around with the pandemic going around, coronavirus just wreaking havoc on society. But like, where do you see TeamChargeShot going in the future?
I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to definitely foresee how things are going to happen, especially after this. But it's also one of those questions that I've been thinking about a lot lately because, like, when a wrench gets thrown into the status quo, you start thinking about it's like, oh well, where is this? Like, what's the point? What's the meaning of it?
Mm-hmm.
TCS to me is probably like one of my proudest accomplishments, like that I've done. You know, and I want to grow it as big as I can get. If I could idealistically turn it into the same sort of like powerhouse that VG or 2GG, that'd be the absolute dream. I want TCS to become like those guys, the go-to guys, like when you want to host a tournament in the Southeast, you know? Like I want people to see TCS as I don't want to say a threat, but as like the authority in the region.
Okay.
So that includes taking steps like we did with Chat Smash, you know, expanding our gates out downward, potentially working with partnerships out west, or sorry, out east in East Tennessee, which we have done in the past. You know, we've worked with ETSU Con, doing all that stuff. And continuing to work with like groups like Fly Society, who've been doing events out in South Carolina and North Carolina. We've slowly been expanding our influence, not necessarily like trying to take over scenes, you know, but we want to basically be a supportive structure for anything in the Southeast.
Gotcha. Is there anything? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that if I could like theoretically make a living off of TCS, like that'd probably be the dream. Absolutely, like to say that I'm like getting a full tournament schedule every single weekend, making, you know, maybe $500-$600, like just providing gear. That's probably the dream.
Yeah, man. Well, hopefully it gets there. Is there anything else you want to like add? You want to talk about?
Definitely go to the bounty. Everybody should definitely sign up for the bounty.
Yeah, we'll post a Discord link in the description below for sure.
And tell me what y'all think about it. Obviously, the bounty isn't necessarily experimental or anything, but you know,
It can still be improved.
But there's always more stuff that we can do, and we always want to try to push what's possible, like with Wi-Fi stuff. I know that actually. Leanne is going to be hosting a casual bracket immediately after the bounty. So definitely support that, because if that goes well, we would be happy to like throw that into the mix of the bounty.
Like casual meaning like items and stages and stuff. Okay, cool. That'd be dope.
Yeah. So like the first bounty will have just the competitive stuff, and then at 11 p.m. CST, Leanne's planning on doing casual stuff. Depending on how that turns out, we might just extend our broadcast and essentially do 2 brackets.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it works out, man. Exactly. Appreciate you for coming on to Juice It Up, and I can't wait to see you next time on the bounty.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man.
Sure thing.